Hi everyone, and welcome to Thursday for our Touch Base Thursday Facebook Live event. Hoping that all of you that are from Michigan and the other surrounding states who are experiencing these bitterly cold temperatures are staying warm the last couple of days. I had the fortunate, I was able to be home, so the university that I work at actually closed for 2 days, and so you're gonna see me in my sweatshirt because I've been in my basement most of the day, and instead of turning up the heat, I just decided to put on a sweatshirt. So I'm more casual tonight than I am with you normally. Normally I'm in my work gear and you see me all dressed up from work, but today I am not in my work gear. I'm in my Stampin' Up! Work gear. How's that? So anyway, welcome to everyone as you start to join for the evening. I'm looking forward to sharing some really cute and fun cards with you with a bundle that did not catch my eye until I'll tell you how I got the bundle that I'm going to be sharing with you. I was qualified for a half-off item, and so I decided, okay, I'll get this one. I'm not sure I like it, but half price, I'll give it a try, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Had so much fun playing with it. So hi Donna, hi Patty, welcome as everyone starts to jump on here. So I wanted to first of all make sure you guys know, for any of my new members on my group this last week, I do Facebook Lives every Thursday. I'm from Mount Pleasant, Michigan, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Been one for a little over 8 years. Love doing what love sharing what I do with my Stampin' Up! Any of my classes that you might see me post on my Facebook page, they're all ones that I can send to you. So they're all things that you can do. You don't have to be local to the Mount Pleasant, Michigan area to take part in what I have to offer as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So the first order of business is every time we have a Facebook Live, I encourage you guys to share that video on your page. If you share the video on your page, comment shared so I know that you've shared it, and your name will be in the drawing to receive one of my little prizes that I give out every single week. So up for grabs last week was some rhinestone gems and a bolt of the Whisper White, very vanilla tulle polka dot ribbon. And before we get too far, I want to tell you guys that I just found out that our school canceled for tomorrow, Mount Pleasant School, and they're going to be calling me any minute to tell me that school has been closed. So if you see a little delay or a brief delay, Natalie is standing by my phone waiting to push the decline button when that call comes in. So and Nicole is here and she works for the school, so she gets a little bit of an advance notice than what we get as parents, and so she mentioned that to me right when I was getting ready to go live, and I went, great timing, couldn't have been any better. But anyway, so those of you that shared last week, thank you. Make sure you share this week. The winners of the 2 prizes from last week for sharing, the winner of the ribbon is Kay Phelps, so congratulations, Kay. Kay lives local, so I'll make sure I get that to her or to her sister, Shireen. And then the winner of the Rhinestone Basic Jewels is Karen Munson. So Karen, these will come with, I'm getting ready to ship all of my scrapbook kits to all of my long distance club members, and they don't go out tomorrow, they will on Monday, and so those will be in your kit or in your box with your kits. So again, make sure you guys share. Hi Sandy and Sonia and Becky, thank you guys for joining. So a couple of announcements that I have before we get into the projects for tonight. You guys will see that I posted my February online class. So something new that I started offering in January is offering an online class in the mail. Now this class is perfect for anybody who, 1, wants a stash of cards, or 2, doesn't really want to buy a lot of product to be able to have to worry about designing and cutting. This class is perfect for you. So it's ideal for those who are experienced stampers, those who are brand new stampers. You don't need to have any experience to be able to simply glue cards together with my creations that I've already created. So my Stamp-A-Stack class for last month was those butterfly cards. This month it is using the Sweet Treats bundle, and this is now open for registration. So these are the 4 cards. You will make 4 of each one. All of your supplies will be cut. You'll have a whole bolt of ribbon in there that you can even add more ribbon to if you want. But the kit is 16 cards, including envelopes. You're going to get some ribbon, some paper, everything that you need to be able to put those cards together. And I have different price points there. So the registration link is on my group page. So if you're interested in seeing more details about that after my Facebook Live, scroll down a little bit further and you'll be able to see information about that class. That is open through February 18th. So please don't delay in getting that in. Next month I'll be doing one using the Floral Romance product suite. A couple more announcements that I wanted to let you guys know. So March 1st, Stampin' Up! Has announced that they're going to be having a second release of celebration items. So there's 3 or 4, I'm not sure how many, maybe even 5 additional items coming out that you can choose from for a $50 qualifying order. So as a demonstrator, I'll be able to order those starting tomorrow. So of course I'll be ordering those tomorrow. And I'm hoping to be able to show them to you in one of my Facebook Lives. It probably won't be next week, but the following week I'll give you a sneak peek at some of those new celebration items that you're going to be able to get your hands on. And then the month of March, they're also coming out with a special product bundle promotion that's called Celebration Coordination. Say that really fast 5 times. But basically, it's a stamp set and bundle that coordinates with a bunch of celebration products. And so I'm excited to see what that's all about. I'll definitely be getting that and sharing that with you as well. I love stuff that they bring out like that to kind of give us a little bit of a refresh to what their offerings are for us. So excited to be able to get my hands on those for you guys. Yeah, woohoo, Kay just said. A couple additional announcements. Let me see. Oh, I did a survey earlier this morning for my next online bingo opportunity night. So online bingo, for those of you who've played in the past, you know it's a lot of fun. But we actually play bingo directly through a Facebook Live group that I created for my online bingo. The cost is $40. We play 4 games of bingo, and all the prizes are bundles from one of our catalogs. And this time I'm going to actually seek input. If you register for it early, we pick a date and get it registered, I'm going to actually seek input from those of you that are participating and to what you would like the bundles to be for prizes. So I'll be asking you all to give me maybe your top 3 or 4 bundles that you would like to see me offer for prizes. So that'll be even more fun. You have a chance at winning one that you might really, really want that's on your wish list. Again, you'll see that poll for that down a little bit further. If you've never played online bingo, it's a lot of fun. Don't feel intimidated. It's very easy. We do it through a Facebook group. You have bingo cards that I send you in advance. We have make and takes that I send you in advance. So again, we have tons of fun with that. Shoot me a message on Facebook or shoot me an email and I'll be happy to go over it in more detail with you. But it is a lot of fun, a lot of fun. The ladies that do that I know really have enjoyed it. I've gotten some really positive feedback on that event. If you're looking at purchasing the 1/8 inch circle punch, now the 1/8 inch circle punch would be the little handheld punch that you use a lot for doing tags to put your little twine through. That punch is going to be, we've got an announcement that punch is on a while supplies last basis. They're not able to get it from their supplier anymore, so it's available while supplies last, but will be going away June 3rd. So if that's a punch that you want, I encourage you to get it now instead of later. Or if you have one that's getting worn out, like mine is getting worn out from all the punching that I've done with it. So I'm going to be replacing that so that I have it. So again, that's the 1/8 inch circle punch. It's the handheld punch that is ideal for doing tags and putting twine through to get the twine onto your tags. The joining promotion is still going on and still going strong. Welcome to all of you, the newbies that have already joined to take advantage of that amazing opportunity. So if you have a big wish list, I strongly encourage you to consider joining the Stampin' Up! Family, so to speak. Basically what you get to pick out $175 of product and you pay only $99. If you want to pay an additional $30, you get that awesome bag that I've talked about as well. But you basically get $76 for free product. So if the Big Shot's on your list or some of the new blends, Stampin' Blends markers are on your list, or a big bundle, the starter kit is definitely the way to do it. And then you'll be able to get 20% off any additional orders that you might want to put in. So it's kind of like a permanent discount on your Stampin' Up! Products. So again, that goes on through March 31st, but I need to at least mention it regularly because it's a huge deal, and I wouldn't be doing my job as your demonstrator if I didn't give you guys an opportunity to get $76 in free product. So I know a good handful of you have taken advantage of that already, and I don't blame you one bit. So with that, I am going to talk to you a little bit about what I'm going to be sharing with you tonight. Oh, first of all, I always forget this, you guys. I didn't tell you what's up for grabs next week for sharing my video. So I told you who the winners of these are. And so we have Kay and we have and Karen. So up for grabs this week is a package of the Share What You Love Artisan Pearls. These pearls, I love little accents like this because they're so nice just to add onto a card. And these can really be, could have been used on my projects that I'm going to be sharing with you tonight. And you'll see why and how in just a little bit here. And then the other item is the Tea Room Copper Stickers. So these are stickers that go great with any projects that you're doing using the new teapot. I'm not sure what that stamp set's called. It's in our occasions catalog, but it coordinates with some of those products. So those are what's up for grabs this week for simply for sharing my video onto the other to the page. And then I want to announce the winner of something that I tried this last week, and I want to thank all of you who participated. So I'm trying to get my name out there and let everyone know, let the whole world know about my Stampin' Up! Business and how blessed I am with what I do and what I'm able to share with all of you. So I put something on Facebook that I've never tried before. I posted last week that if you knew anybody who might like to be part of my group, to invite them. There's a button over on the right hand side that you can invite, and inviting them is no harm done because they have to accept that invitation. So you're not automatically putting them into my group. They'll just get a notification that says, you know, Kim Vogel's invited you to join this group, and they have to accept it. And once they accept it, then they're into my group. And so I will tell you guys, I gotta tell you my statistics. So before I started that, I was at 528 members in my group. As of tonight, I'm at 579. And that is all because of you guys sharing me with your friends and inviting your friends to join my group. And so I offered somebody, whoever shared or got the most people into my group and invited the most people, and I can see as they were coming in who had invited them. So I was able to kind of keep track of that. And the winner of the $50 in product for doing that is Penny Oram. Penny was, I mean, you all did an amazing job, and I want to thank you all, but wow, did Penny go to town on that one. She earned the $50, guys. She invited a lot of people. I'm looking over across the room because my daughter-in-law, Nicole, is here helping me get kids together. And she's also an admin in my group, and she's able to approve people. And she was like, oh my gosh, we have so many coming through right now. And so we were like, wow, you keep going, Penny. So anyway, thank you all, though, for encouraging your friends to join my group. I'm hoping that they will find some inspiration here. And I love, like I said, I love sharing what I do. So with that, let me talk to you a little bit about the bundle that I'm sharing with you tonight. So I was trying to find something to share with you that isn't overly shared right now with their Stampin' Up! Catalog. So the butterflies that I shared with you last week are starting to really become popular. The Butterfly Gala bundle is really becoming popular. And I wanted to pick something that maybe you haven't seen up close and personal yet, or something that you might be actually overlooking in our catalog. And that is the Florentine Filigree bundle. So this was iffy on my list when the catalog came out. And like I had mentioned earlier in my video, I qualified for a half-off item. And I was like, okay, I want to get a bundle to do a Facebook Live with, but what bundle do I want? And my friend Terry actually is the one that kind of turned me on to this a little bit. She said, Kim, that's kind of cool. You can use your stamparatus and it lines right up. And what a cute bundle. And I said, okay, maybe I'll get it. So that kind of planted the seed. And I can tell you that I bought it and played with it this week. And I have almost gosh, 8 or 10 cards to share with you using this bundle. Now you do need the stamparatus or some sort of a stamp placement tool because it lines up perfect with that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to transition my camera down to the table and show you some of my samples, and then we're going to actually make a card so you can see how easy it is. I know I've shown the stamparatus a couple of times before, but you're going to really see how important it is in these cards that I'm going to be sharing with you tonight. So let me transition down to my table and we will continue. Natalie, would you mind getting me a Patience catalog? Okay, so I left my chair and I'm heading over to the other side of the table here. So bear with me while I transition down to my cards. And I want to thank my friend Shireen who came to my rescue today. I was working on these cards kind of yesterday and today, and she knew that I had some to do yet, and so she asked if I needed any help today, and so she came over for an hour this afternoon and helped me work on some of these cards. And so I just always like to say thank you when I get that kind of help because sometimes I really need it. Okay, so these are the cards that I've created to share with you guys. And let me tell you what my ordering promotion is first for tonight. So anybody who puts in a minimum $30 order will receive 3 of these cards in the mail already made. And I'm doing it that way so that way you don't have to, if you don't have the stamparatus, you don't want to purchase the stamparatus, you won't have to. But I want to be able, you know, to have you guys get these in your hands and, yeah, have fun with it. So first of all, I kind of gave you a sneak peek of the cards. I'm going to move these out of the way because I want to share with you the bundle first that I used and then kind of explain these cards to you in some kind of an order. So this is the bundle. It is the Florentine Filigree stamp set. Let me move it up so there's not a glare here. And the cord is my call, but I think I just declined it in enough time. So if you guys have a little delay there, I apologize. The Florentine Thinlet is simply this right here. And that is what you're going to use to cut out your little mask that fits on the top of all of your cards. Okay, so let me bring one of my cards in and I'll show you what I mean. So this one right here, this light pink, the petal pink, that is cut out with that die. Now these cut out really, really easy, big time easy, on using the Big Shot. And this bundle sells for, I had to have Natalie get me the catalog. I know that we looked this up a little while ago, but guess who didn't remember the price of it? So in the catalog, in the occasions catalog, it is on page 40 and it is $40.50. So if you were interested in getting this bundle and getting 3 of these cards for free, you would need to simply put in a $30 order. This bundle would get you there if you fall in love with it like I have. You could also increase your order to $50 and get a free celebration item. Items that I would recommend for purchasing to go with this bundle would be pearls or rhinestones and maybe a bolt of ribbon, and you'll see that here in just a little moment why I'm suggesting those products. So with that, let me go over the cards in a little bit of detail, and then we're going to actually stamp one together, and I'm going to show you the versatility of this stamp set and this coordinating framelit. So let me get these out of here. So the first 2 I'm going to show you are where I introduced a lot of color. The one here on the left is one that I did. The one here on the right is one that Natalie did. So we each picked our own color schemes. I was going for more of the bright colors. I think Natalie was going for more of the favorite colors of Natalie Vogel. So anyway, but look at how beautiful these cards are. And on my card, I put some rhinestones in all of these little areas where I stamped. And on Natalie's, she put some pearls on every single one of them. So these great big openings, she put the bigger pearls, and the little ones here, she put some of the little pearls. But aren't those cards gorgeous? And since we put a bunch of pearls on here, I didn't think this needed anything additional than just a quick, simple, sweet sentiment. The stamp set comes with this awesome image right here. And I did incorporate that on a bunch of my cards. Now this will coordinate with the circles, layering circles, framelits, and also with some of the punches. The punches that I use primarily on the cards that I'm going to be sharing with you is the 2.5 inch circle punch and the 2 inch and the 1 3/4, because they all layer so nicely together. And again, this is such a beautiful, beautiful card that I mean, gorgeous. Okay, so there I experimented with some color. Next, I want to show you some variation and just using a different color of, here it is, using a different color of cardstock. So this one right here, the one on the left here, I used Very Vanilla. The one on the right, I used Whisper White, so that is our only difference. And this one I did not put any ribbon on. I incorporated those pearls on all of it. Isn't that gorgeous? Just gorgeous. And this one I incorporated just a touch of that pretty color. I really liked these colors together. So this is the Mint Macaron paired with our Petal Pink, and I really like how that just gave it a really nice look. Really nice look. And again, that's our only variation on these two cards, is that one is Whisper White and one is your Very Vanilla. But it gives you a totally different look. Love that. So those are two more cards that we created. And then I'm going to share with you what I did with some Pool Party. So this one I kind of kept more color on color. That's just all Pool Party. So you really can't see from a distance. You're going to get the more detail on that one. But this one, look how crisp that one is by incorporating a white one of these. I'm not sure what to call this, the Florentine mask, so to speak. But look at how you can get different designs from that just by incorporating different colors on top of there. So I had some fun experimenting with that. Now these cards I think are perfect for all occasion, because you could doll them up. This right here could be a really pretty wedding card. You could you know, keep them more simple, not add pearls and rhinestones, and have them be more appropriate for, you know, birthdays, thank you. This could also be a get well sympathy card. I really like the versatility of it, because again, sometimes we just want sets that aren't specific, and I think this one is perfect for that. And this would also be a good element for a scrapbook page. You could easily cut these in half, or even just, you know, put this part at the very top and the bottom, put some layerings in it. So this right here, I've used the 2 1/4 inch punch with the 2 inch punch, threw in some coordinating ribbon. I mean, very simple. But can you see how you get different looks with those cards just by changing out the color of the top overlay? Very, very pretty. And I really like it with the bling in there too. I'm not sure if you guys can see the sparkly bling, but gorgeous cards. The next one I'm going to share with you is, well, I'll bring these two in. So you can see I had tons of fun with this. Hi, Kathy. Kathy is on there, I see. So these are the other two that I did in different color schemes as well. This one I really liked for the colors as well. This is Grapefruit Grove and Crumb Cake. And you can see though, so on this one I used Grapefruit Grove for these design images, and then I used the Crumb Cake for the little one. But now on this one I used pink for all of it. Again, look at the different variations you can get just by incorporating different colors. That was what I think was the most fun for me. When Shireen was here earlier, she said, do you think you have enough cards? And I said, I don't know. I cut out all these and I want to try to make a few just to show everyone the variation. Because this right here screams more of a birthday or a thank you to me, whereas some of the other ones that I showed you to me scream more of a wedding or a thinking of you type of a card. So again, very quick, simple change of colors and you have a whole different look. This is the card that I'm going to be sharing with you tonight, and I'm going to bring in both of these to show you the difference here as well. And this one I stamped the one image, and it's not quite, I had to adjust my stamparatus, and I'll go over all that with you here in just a few moments. But this right here is probably my favorite color combination. This is the soft seafoam paired with our Petal Pink, and I love it. So this one is stamped, all of the stamped images are done with the soft seafoam ink, and with this one I did the smaller images with the Petal Pink ink. This ribbon is gorgeous, so if you have not played with this ribbon yet, oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. This ribbon is in our Occasions catalog, and it is our petal pink variegated ribbon, but look how gorgeous it is. It is just truly beautiful. I love it. Can you guys kind of see the color there? It's so pretty. Okay, so I'm going to be bringing in, oh, before I actually make this card with you, I wanted to show you what else I did. So one of the things that we sell is we have a pizza boxes, and I decided to use our CMU colors, maroon and gold, and make a cute little pizza box. Now I just stamped on the top of this pizza box, but look how cute that is. And I wanted to make sure that you guys seen these pizza boxes, because these pizza boxes are really, really cute. They have one of the sides is more of your matte finish. Your inside is your glossy finish, and the glossy finish makes them food safe. So you can make cookies and put cookies in there, or fudge, or candy. These were out in our holiday catalog last year, and they carried over. And I think they get hidden, but they're so cute for so many different reasons. And you know, they come flat, so I was able to put that on the stamparatus and incorporate a little bit of stamping on that before I went ahead and put the box all together. But how cute is that? I then ran out of time to embellish the top, but you could easily do similar to what I did with this right here in our CMU colors as well, and put a little sentiment on it as well. But anyway, just playing with it and wanted to try a different project other than just making it on cards or in scrapbooking. So with that, let me bring in my stamparatus. Now, if you guys do not have the stamparatus yet, I'm going to probably zoom out a little bit here so that you guys can all see this a little bit better. The stamparatus comes, it's $49, and it comes with 2 hinged plates. So this is what we call a hinged plate right here, and there's also one to go on the top so that you could then use it for different stamping. I'm going to only be using the 1 hinged plate today for making our card, and I'm going to actually peel these off. I'm going to pray that this works, you guys, because I want to actually show you how I placed these onto my stamparatus. Okay, the other thing that Stampin' Up! Sells is they sell this little grid paper, and it also comes with magnets. Your magnets get stored on the back, and I'll show you that here in just a moment. But I do want to move my magnets out of the way for a minute. We sell this small grid paper, and it comes in a pack just this exact size, and it's meant perfectly for our stamparatus. So if you were stamping with stamps that are the red rubber mount, you would not need this or this little foam plate or foam mat. You would be able to do all of your stamping directly on here because you have your grid lines. But because our photopolymer stamps are not quite as thick, the stamparatus comes with this little foam mat, but then that covers up your grid. So then they came out with this awesome grid paper. Isn't that pretty cool? I'm going to use the exact same piece that I've been using for every single one of my cards tonight, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to, again, the card we're going to be making tonight is this one right here, and I'm going to be stamping it all in just one color for ease of making it really simple and for you to be able to see how this is done. So I'm going to be using the soft seafoam ink on that. And what I'm going to do, so I actually stamped on a piece of Whisper White. So the pieces for this card are, oh, I'm actually going to be making it the opposite. I forgot that I've changed that on you guys. So it's going to be the same color scheme, exactly the same color scheme, but I'm going to be doing it with the petal pink as my card base. I'm going to be doing it with my stamping on a piece of Whisper White, and then I'm going to be using the soft seafoam overlay. So it's just the complete mirror opposite of what I did on this card sample. Again, looking for a little bit of different variation to be able to show you. Now, the awesome thing is that this piece of, or this framelit, cuts out perfectly to be a 5 1/4 by 4. Stampin' Up! Is always thinking amazingly well for us because I did not have to cut this out at all. So what I did is I cut a piece of 5 1/4 by 4 paper, ran it through the Big Shot, and this is exactly what I get, okay? And it's going to overlay on top of this perfectly. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than that. So I'm going to show you how I stamp this with the stamparatus. So let me make sure I bring this in that all of you can see. So I'm going to position my paper. You can kind of see where my paper's been. I positioned my paper onto my grid paper, and then you're going to secure it with some of the magnets. Now I broke my magnet. You can see this one's a little bit shorter, but that's okay. Let me make sure you guys can see it's a little bit shorter than this one. I broke it the first week I had it, but it still works perfectly well. And I actually wrapped some washi tape around here because it helps me to be able to pick these up, because this is really magnetic. I mean, it holds this paper really, really good. So if you have a stamparatus or a stamp placement tool and you're struggling a little bit, I would just make sure that you wrap some tape around there so you're able to pick that up really, really good. Okay, so from there, what I did, oops, I forgot this already. I did put my placements on, and so long ago, you guys, that I forgot. So I'm going to actually put this right on the top of it as well. Now, once you place these stamps on your stamparatus, you do not need to place them again until you're done making this card design, because they're already going to be placed right where you want them. So what I did is I put my two mats together. Now, the white underneath is also cut 5 1/4 by 4, okay? So it's the exact same thing. And I'm going to start out by putting this stamp right in the middle where I want it to stamp on that grid, like that, okay? So what I'm going to do, I think I have it in pretty good place. It might be a little off, but I'm going to go with it because I don't want to be too picky, because I usually stand up and really look at it, but I think I'm close. And now I'm going to close this up, and I'm going to push really good, and that is going to lift up that for me. And I'm going to kind of put my finger in here and hold this down. So my stamp is now onto the hinged plate right where I want it. Okay, so from there, I'm going to be removing, well, nope, I'm sorry, you guys. We're going to do one more. Sorry. Okay, so I have that stamp where I want it. I'm now going to flip this hinge plate over to get to the other side, because what I want to do is I want to do the same with this stamped image right here. So I'm going to put this stamped image right up here, make sure it lines up in that opening where I want it, and I'm going to do the exact same thing again. So again, my other stamp's on this side because I flipped this over. I'm going to push this down, and I'm going to pick that up as well. So I now have these positioned right where I want them, and I can now move this little overlay out of the way. But I want to keep my cardstock where I had it, okay? And so I what I did is I lined up my cardstock here on the bottom edge and kind of made some little pencil marks so I knew where I had it. Really not that hard at all. Okay, so with that, we are going to start stamping, and call me a crazy person, but I like to start stamping with the great big image first. So I'm going to make sure I move these up really good. And what I'm going to do, let me move this over a little bit so you guys can see better. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to stamp this up or ink this up with the soft seafoam ink. And I'm just going to bring this over and I'm going to stamp it down onto my cardstock like that. Isn't that cool? And then I'm going to move it on down. And then this whole hinged plate gets moved down 1 notch. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing again. I'm going to ink it all up and do the same thing. And then I'm making sure I move my magnets out of the way. Every time you hinge this down 1, it's going to be the perfect spacing that you need to be able to continue doing your stamping on this project, which again is so awesome. Stamping it. I'm hoping you guys can see as I'm doing this, okay? And then I'm going to just simply move my magnets up to the top so I can get these last 2 stamped. I inked it up already, but I still need to move it down 1. I keep forgetting to do that. Stamp it down there and move it on down 1 more. So I'm just moving these, it's like I said, it's on a hinge, and all I'm doing is I'm moving it 1 little hinge at a time. So it's pretty awesome. So Sandy, you said that you think you're missing where the grid paper can be found. So yes, the grid paper and replacement magnets actually came out separately from the stamparatus, and they're not in the catalog. They're in a little publication, but if you were to search for grid paper, it'll say big and small, and you want the small. Now, I purposely here didn't restamp, but see I have a mistake down there. It didn't stamp all of it. The joy of that is that you could just get to re-ink this because it's already in the right position, and you have a chance at fixing that. Voila! Now, I should have actually had this positioned a little bit differently to stamp up there on the top. But let me see if I can get it up there. If not, I'll do it later and show you guys what I'm going to do. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to turn this hinge completely over, and I want to stamp this part now instead of the other one. So I'm going to move these down and out of the way as I put that hinge plate right directly into my ink pad. Okay, I'm going to stamp this up, and it's going to go right there on the top. Look how cool it is, you guys. I mean, like, seriously, the Stampin' Up! Has done all the work for us on this one. And I am not a big stamparatus user. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of a stamper who flies by the seat of my pants, but I actually enjoyed making all of these cards with the stamparatus because it was so neat to see how awesome it all lined up. And again, each time I'm simply moving this down a hinge and stamping. So the stamparatus, though, I know I've got a couple of customers out there who live by it. Ross is one of them, who's over in the thumb of Michigan. She will not stamp without her stamparatus because she loves it. And it makes her feel like an amazing stamper because she gets perfect placement every single time she stamps. And that's what the stamparatus is designed for. It's designed for any of you who feel, like for me, I feel like, oh, close enough. I know that maybe I shouldn't always be thinking like that, but that's kind of how I think. And yes, I know I shouldn't, but I do. So what I'm going to do for this bottom one, because I should be having a half of a one of this little pattern, I'm just going to simply turn this over because I know right where my paper needs to go. So I'm simply going to turn that right over, put my magnets back in place, and I'm going to bring over that one, flipping my plate again, so that I can get that stamped image down here on the bottom. You see that? So when there's always a way that you can do it. So don't feel like, oh my gosh, can make it work. All right, so there is the stamping, and that is all I did for stamping all of those images that you've seen. And the first couple that I did, you probably saw a couple cards. Like this one right here is not lined up the best. That was one of my first cards that I made, and I know that's not lined up the best, but I wanted to show you that I'm not perfect, but look how beautiful the card is. So you still don't have to be perfect with this technique, but it is so fun. This stamp set was so addicting to me to keep going with it because I just loved it. So I'm going to go ahead and move this off. I now have my stamped piece done, and I'm going to move the stamparatus out of the way. Now we also have an awesome stamparatus bag that you can put your stamparatus in. I'm not sure where my bag is right now. Natalie's going to get it for me. It's on my back table. But we have a stamparatus bag that this will fit into, and it coordinates with the bag that you can get if you were to join. So this is the stamparatus bag. I'm going to zoom out a little bit further here so you guys can see it. Maybe if I can zoom out a little bit. Hope it's not liking it, but I hope you guys can kind of see the stamparatus bag. Has a shoulder strap that goes with it. And it holds the stamparatus perfectly. So anyway, loved having fun with that. It's probably the most I've used the stamparatus since I've owned it. So here's our stamped image that we have, and I'm going to show you how awesome this overlay will fit on top of that. Now sometimes when I was stamping with these, they weren't completely perfect. So what I was doing was kind of lining them up the best that I could, and then I was taking our multi-purpose liquid Tombow glue, and I was simply, if I can get some of this to come out here. So you can use, you know, any adhesive of your choice. I just liked to use this liquid glue because you don't need a lot. A little of this goes a long way, and I was able to just kind of dot it on where I wanted it. again, I really thought this bundle the book didn't do it justice. And until I got playing with it and saw the variation of different cards, because this is going to be a nice wow card. When you give someone this cards made using this bundle, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, how did you do that? And you're just going to be like, oh, it was simple. I just kind of had a little thingy that helped me stamp it, so on and so forth. But they're going to love it. It's going to be a good talking point. So what I do is kind of line it up the best that I can. And then I did have a little bit of excess on these sometimes because it wasn't perfect. Again, close enough to perfect for me. And what I then did is I just trimmed off this excess. So a little bit of that trimming off the top there. Look how pretty that is. And then I went ahead from there and I secured this onto a card mat. So I also chose to use the petal pink one. And the ribbon that I'm going to use for this card is this awesome variegated petal pink and whisper white. And I am just going to cut a little piece to wrap around. Most of you who've watched enough of my videos know how I do my ribbon. I never tie the ribbons all the way around. Natalie, can you get me some glue dots, please? Yeah. I never tie the ribbons all the way around. I do the little cheating method. I'm going to put a glue dot on the end of this ribbon. If I can get it off here. Woo! And I am going to tie this around here like that. But this ribbon just sets this off. And keep in mind, yes, I'm a little off here on the bottom. No one's going to see that because that's going to be secured down to my card. So from there, I'm going to go ahead and secure this down. So this is the fun I had making these cards. I started making them over the weekend at a retreat that I was at over in the Thumb in Harbor Beach. Didn't get too far because I did a lot more talking than I did crafting over there. But that's okay. It's all good. And then I was off the last couple of days, but yesterday I literally spent the most of the day doing computer work and catching up on getting things ready for my classes for February and things like that. And I spent some time with the girls yesterday watching some movies, and so I didn't work a whole lot on all of my Stampin' Up! Stuff, but I've been in the basement most of the day today. My basement is not very clean, but it's okay. Getting kits and everything together. But look how pretty that is. Isn't that ribbon alone just pretty? And then I used a punch out. I used the 2 1/4 inch, no, 2 1/4 inch. I don't have it here. Sorry, 2 1/4 inch circle punch to punch that out. And then using some scraps of Whisper White. This is the image that's in the stamp set as well. And I'm going to stamp that with the Petal Pink ink. Oh no, I'm going to stamp this with the green ink. Sorry, got the wrong ink. It's because I'm hiding my ink pad over here. So I'm going to stamp it with the Soft Seafoam ink. And then I'm going to punch it out with a 2-inch circle punch. So, and I probably should have had a mat underneath of this because that would have given me a little bit of a better stamped image. But if not, you improvise and you kind of make sure you get a good image on that by rubbing the bottom of it. And then using my 2-inch circle punch, I'm just going to simply punch out the middle part of that. And I'm going to adhere these two together like so. And then using a couple of dimensionals, and here's where it's important in how you put the dimensionals and put this piece onto your card, because you don't want to put this where the dimensionals are sticking to the ribbon. So I want it where the ribbon kind of runs between these. So I'm going to put it on that way, like that. And then I have a little piece of white scrap here that's 3/4 inch. And I'm going to stamp, I'm going to make this one a thank you card. So this is the thank you. There are some sentiments that come with the Florentine Filigree stamp set. So I've used a lot of the for you, the thank you, and I've used the you fill my thoughts. And I think I also used the beautiful, all days are beautiful with you. But you got some really good sentiments in there. And I'm just going to go ahead and stamp the thank you sentiment on there. And I'm going to cut this off, and I'm going to notch it with my scissors, get a little bit of a notch in there. And then using a couple of dimensionals, I am going to secure this as well to my card. Right about here. Look how pretty that is. And then I'm going to top this card off with a pearl. If I can find my pearls. I know I had pearls here. But what I want to do before I show you that is show you the different variation by just changing out colors. Look how pretty. Same color scheme completely, just different colors. So, or different ways of using them with my card bases being changed and so on and so forth. So love it. Love the variation that you can get from that. I must have not grabbed my pearls, but what I wanted to also show you is our take your pick tool. So this tool is what I use to be able to secure a lot of my pearls and things to these cards because they were very intricate. Let me bring in a bunch of my cards back in. But this has got a little bit, it's got like putty in the end of it, and I was able to pick up those jewels or pearls and secure them on here using that. So I loved it. It was pretty cool. So if you do not have this yet, it's $10. The price is going up to $14. I'm just not sure when. It might be when the new catalog comes out after the first in June. But I love this take your pick tool. It's perfect. And then this side right here is designed for kind of moving them in place and getting them where you want if you get it in the wrong spot. I love that too. So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed my projects for you tonight. I hope that you consider adding this stamp set and framelit to your collection. Like I said, it was not one that I would have purchased, but because it was one that I was able to get for half price, I thought I'll give it a shot. And I had a lot of fun with it. Just a lot of fun. There's so many different looks you can get with this. You can dress it up, you can dress it down, you can make it bold, you can make it subtle. I mean, the sky's the limit on what you can do with this filigree bundle. So anyway, again, my ordering promotion tonight, my host code is on my website at kimsbasementbunch.com, and my host code is there. This host code is only there for a couple more days. It will change in February. It's not Valentine's. I just keep using the same paper over again. But anybody who puts in an online order of $30 or more from now through Sunday night, you will receive 3 of these beautiful cards that I've made tonight free. They will ship to you next week. As you can see, I made a few too many of them, but it was so much fun designing these and having fun doing it that I just kept going and going and going. So anyway, thank you all for stopping tonight. I look forward to seeing you back here next week. I'll be focusing on the, I'm thinking I'm going to be focusing in on the Floral Romance bundle that's in the catalog, one of my favorites that I haven't had time to play with yet. So anyway, thank you all so very much. I hope that you enjoyed my projects for tonight, and stay warm, and I look forward to seeing you all back here next week. Have a great week. Bye.